Welcome to the Archangel Michael's live. All welcome to Sparta. And as God would say, let us put some light on the subject. Oh, Mr. Pepsico, what do we hear? A cat? Archangel Michael and these cats. Yeah. Yes. Been good? Yes. What was that? No? No, meow. But he has plenty to say when you let him go. Just not on camera, eh? No? No? He's shy. Off you go. Mr. Pepsico. I hope you're well. I'll just check this chat here. Make sure everyone can talk. Now everyone should be able to talk. I hope I find you well. I seem to have a little bit of a sore throat. It's not cold or anything. It's just I was coughing before, and it's like that sometimes. So I hope this week is going to be better than last week. Today was a public holiday for us in Australia. We celebrated the King's birthday, so whether it was his day or not, I'm not sure. It ain't like the Queen's birthday. She can have many birthdays throughout the year, including the day that she was actually born. So we'll get God into the chat. That's the best way. One of the best things I do, my content, and that's just the way that rolls. By not showing like the rest do, pictures of stuff and other copyrighted content, and by telling you the information so you can go search it for yourself, is a far better prospect than dealing with copyrights or dealing with trolls. No. And I find if you go do the research over some of the things that I say, well, you'll find that you learn better, you understand it better, it sinks in better. It's not hype. I don't want to run hype in the sense of things. It's a visual hype. People like that better. They don't like doing the research, they like just to watch. But you don't learn that way. Not in the real sense of things. Okay, the Lord's Prayer with a bit of a sore throat. I hope people are not trying to talk to me, because this should be open. It really should. There's all messages, including potential spam. Everything should be open, guys. Oh, hello, Miss Kiki Eyes. I have not seen you for a while, you know. I hope you are not at work, and I hope I'm not bothering you being on this time. But thank you. How are you going? Hope everything is well. Hope you've been having a good time, and hope all that extra work you've been doing has been paying off. Oh, kicking it. Oh, how are you going? Yes, work during the day. Yes, I am at work. Yes. Well, that's just like that. So I'm just going to do Lord's Prayer. Not going to be on too long. Got a bit of a sore throat. I'll have to sort that out. But I hope you're well, and I hope you well in your work day, and don't work too hard. If you can avoid to, avoid it. No one really likes to work, but we have to. Oh, I've been working on my daughter, but that's a different story. I'll tell you after this. Okay, Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but to deliver us from evil. Hail Mary, full of grace. Amen. And now we have God in the chat, God in the day, and everyone can sit back and relax. Basically, that's how it's supposed to work. It would be nice if it actually really did work like that. That would be fantastic, but that would be the fantastical, the fantasy, the fantasy, the hype, in a sense. Funny that. Okay, we'll go through the chat. Oh, we got the Kiki Eyes, and there's Margie, and there's Kikina Dodandi Lee. All the guys come now. Oh, that's it. Full rank, full. Oh, generals all around, which is great to see. Like I said, you just don't ever have to come and moderate. That's not the way, how idea why I give a wrench. Wrenches are given because of their rewards. Moderation is just something that we have to do sometimes. I like to moderate. I know Auntie Lee likes to tap a few trolls. I like that. I shouldn't, but I do. They're cheeky body buggers. They deserve it. Every single one of them. Unfortunately. And I get a bit of enjoyment out of it. So I know when Jag opens up a chat, it was an open chat, I kind of get a little bit of fun out of that. I shouldn't, but I do. Oh, are you going to my spooky events? Yes. Oh, got my housework. Yeah, that's the thing. I'm always doing housework. I got a house full. This is my mother's house. Because interest rates are so high over here, so I weighed up the best options for me at the time. I still got other things. Still can go and get another house. But just not around this area. It's too expensive now. Towards the city. We'll see how we go out in the country. But even there, it's getting expensive. I mean, Australia truly is the best country to live in. But it's getting very expensive. And, well, the way the thinking's going is a bit funny too. It's not exactly perfect. Nowhere is. Nowhere is. We've got all the same types of problems. You know, Australia mimics America on a little small scale. Usually a few years behind you guys before we're running the same banter. And if we run the same banter at the same time, well, governments have different policies how they run that, how they police that. Like Black Lives Matter marches and movements all around the world. Well, they sanctioned that down here for us. Told us that we was going to do that, they'll arrest every single one of us, even though it was going to be a peaceful protest in support of the movement, you know. But that's another story. Australia is funny that way. I keep telling people, well, originally it was known as the Prisoner Island, see? And it is an island, a big one. And the Prisoner Island is Rottnest Island. Used to be Hobart, Van Diemen's Land, but no longer. They shifted it over to Rottnest Island before the colonisation, before the modern day, before Australia, became a federation. But that's another story. Another story entirely. And, well, we on this story on YouTube with everyone else, in and out, all working, family all doing things. No, kind of bit of a, spun out thing. It's really good. You know, a lot of people all around the world, all doing different things, all come from different walks, all brought together by one lady's message. Message of freedom. Message of persecution against those that seek it. And those that should be free in the industry to express their artistry without persecution or sexual trades or any other thing that goes on. You know? And that's from a lady that's experienced it and run away from it, guys. She's seen things that, well, none of us could probably think about, really. Things that she probably can't never say. And a lot of things go on behind closed doors, as you should know. When the cameras turn off, who knows what goes on? And when you put the cameras on, you only see what I want you to see. That make any sense? But I try to be truthful. That's the one thing I have to do. Very truthful. Because if you get found out and lie, especially on this online business, which is very new to me, I only really started up last year, guys, just before March. When my YouTube channel started, that's when I started having a social media at all. No Facebook, none of that bullshit. None of that bloody chat message crap. A message on the phone, that's about it. Ring me up on the phone, that was about it. That was the extent of my social media. Now I got what? A YouTube channel? I got a TikTok channel. I could that's already monetized. I just don't run it. I don't like TikTok. It's a meat market. Terrible. But I could make a lot of money from it if I was into that gaming shit. A lot of money. You're quite surprised, actually, how much money people make from that just on TikTok alone, playing those games, competition games, teams against teams and crap. But I could do that. But I'm not here for that. It's not quite about the money, even though everyone needs money to survive. Well, I'm transparent. Yes, that's it. You have to be. This is the thing. A democracy, guys, a democracy works, and a democracy is only a democracy if the people are just the people. We don't have to be totally transparent because we're the people, the community, one part of a democracy. The other part of the democracy is the government. Now they functionate everything, run everything, make all the rules. They have to be transparent so the people know that the government are not shafting them, right? And then we have the judiciary, which is the balance between the two. So not one can hold the full power of the country. You need each other to run it, to have power, to have position. That's the whole idea of a democracy. And the fact is that the government doesn't run the level of life. No, the government's a collection agency. Runs the policing of life and collects the money, makes sure the money flows. What runs a democracy is determined by big business and the banks, the level of interest and the level of products. That's what determines a democracy's level of life, the level that that democracy is going to achieve. It's not the government. Government makes rules, but they don't actually run the country. It's your shops that feed you. You know, you've got to look at it that way. That's how democracy is supposed to run. So when you walk into a courtroom and they pretty much already got you convicted and you're trying to ask for some sort of leniency when you know you haven't done quite wrong or you haven't done any wrong at all, and they won't give it to you, and they just want to run that program like they do on the normal guy, on the black guy, on the regular guy. Not talking about billionaires and famous people now. We're just talking about the regular people. You know, the rest of us that don't get a fucking special show, that get put behind the closed doors and are due to process and guilty until proven innocent. You know what I mean? I don't know how you operate in America. I think you're innocent until they prove you guilty. But over here, as soon as they put that little form on you, that's it. That's how it's going to roll until you can prove that you didn't do it. And that's extremely hard to do because they functionate in a system where there's no clear cut between the judiciary and the government. See, the government, they own the licensing departments. That's how they power over that judiciary. We don't make you a judge unless we give you a license. You can't move out of the country unless they give you a license to move out of it. It's called a passport. Or they'll just lock you up and bring you back in. See, those policing, they're to police the streets. They're supposed to protect and serve, not the people, the government. Because that's why I just say protect and serve. Don't say the people. Don't tell you who they're protecting and serving. And that army, that military that they so-called have and say we need it to protect the country, no, that's to stop you from escaping your country. Because you can't leave it unless you got that ticket signed you out. The government's got you moving where they want you to move, when they want you to move, how they want you to move. Certain rules keep you bound to your country. Certain ways you can get out. You can't do nothing for free in this country. You can't do nothing for free in the world. Soon, and they even have this in some parts of the world, soon you have to pay for breathing. And you do. It's called a carbon tax. You ever hear that one? You pay for breathing it as it is. You pay extra tax because of carbon tax. If you use a diesel engine instead of the regular fuel engine, you'll have to pay more. To the quality of the air. So that's what we breathe. So we already pay for the air. They already got us licked there. They fucking scammed that right out of us. You know, it's just like I've seen, and it does pay money too. I could go out down south in a nice, beautiful country, film it. People say, "Oh, that's so lush. I wish I was there with him." And now I'll be out there with jars, catching this fresh air, and I'll market fucking fresh air in a can. They've got it in Japan. I'll get pine, scented fresh air from the pine forest. Oh, this is Uluru air. He's out there. Where's Rock or Uluru? Oh, this is the southern air, made from the Antarctica onto the West Australian beautiful coast. Pristine air, pristine waters. It's the best coastline in the world. It really is. So it ponders the brain when we have such a beautiful coastline. And most of it, where the main population lives. You've got beaches that are swimming on one side and beaches on another. The main part where you think we would have it, no, they've got all fucking chemical factories and all kinds of shit that you cannot possibly imagine. Manufacturing places, rendering plants, the whole cat and caboodle. Even now, one of the best fishing beaches, they're closing that off, getting that ready to make a new harbour. Non-accessible to the public. Well, I stopped that little fishing, little escapade. It's a good spot too. But you get that. That's because it drops off deep, see? Because it drops off deep, close to the shore, that's a perfect place for a harbour. Not so much digging, you get the boats in close, you don't have to build too big a bloody wharf. Just enough to put them next to it. So in the way of productivity and moving forward, they're not silly in their way of thinking, but in my way of thinking, well, there is other better places. But they get that. You get that in the big things. But that's it. They only want to, take money to government. If they could get away and hire out someone to run all the rest of it for them, they probably would. You know, that's how it is. I mean, over here, oh, you don't know left from right, really. They just both disagree with each other because they're just not in that party sometimes, I think. Some of the ideas that come out, you just know that they all would agree on it, but just because they're on opposite sides, they just plainly say no. Just a plain out idiot arsehole syndrome, really. Just because they didn't come up with the idea. A lot of ideas are good from both sides, and a lot are really fucking right out there too. And they should be taken right out. I personally don't like Trump. right? I mean, he's an arsehole. I mean, watching all the shows and all his history about him, it's always been very controversial. Always been a bit of a prick. Always been sarcastic and full of himself. But when you're that rich, well, money does corrupt. But he did do one thing in America that I reckon I have to agree with. One good thing he did, and a lot of people are going to say, no, that wasn't good. One good thing he did out of all the shit, because the other two wouldn't have done it, was normalize things a bit by saying a male is a male and a female is a female. And that wasn't really hard to do. That took guts in the fucking era, in the way of the thinking, in the way the westernized world is, the way a lot of people are, the way we accept stuff, the way we're starting to learn stuff and learn new stuff every day. You know, how to deal and how to cope, how to tolerate each other's thought patterns and how each person is, you know, to make a better world. You know, that's pretty hard to do because the way it was done through the woke way is really fucking damaging. It is very hard to teach these kids in Australia because we still got it down here full rip. It's hard to teach these kids the normality of things. Now, and there is a normality. There is a basic normality of science, medical. And when we start not believing in our own systems that we have set up that are supposed to make things truthful, factual, so we actually know, when we start disregarding them because we just want to run a narrative in someone's chocolate starfish, what side to side society are we becoming? We deny our own logical knowledge, our logical understandings of things. Creates chaos, guys. Creates helter skelter. It's in the Bible. It's right there. I'm not lying to you. That's what it is. Right? Helter skelter. Total chaos. You know, that's why people say, oh, falling empire. America's empire has the only one has the fall. Well, when you have an identity crisis, that is a sign for a fall of an empire. It's a sign of every empire that's ever fallen has the same thing. An identity crisis, whether it be a sexual one, a color one, a blood one, or a belief one. That's it. Whoever is the powerfulest runs the narrative. And that's it. It's always been that way. Once the bigger guy got the biggest cave, raked in all the best women, well, it started from there. And it went on ever since, for thousands of years. I mean, gee, I always talk about this Anglo-Saxons, what? Royalty, because they beat everyone else up to get to that. And bloodline, you know, what's that? What does that make anyone? Who doesn't make them special? No, they'll fight like that for centuries and centuries and centuries together at the top to keep themselves there, to keep themselves at that regality. A lot of families that are rich, that have been a long time rich, long time in power. Why? Who gave them the right to have a right over community? They've never been part of the community for fucking thousands of years with their rich lives, qualities, and hand-me-downs. You think that one? I'm surrounded by the 5 Great Lakes. Oh, I'm in the process of breaking generation curses. It's called what they call cycles or circles, vicious circle. Like, single mothers are always growing up. The kids that know she's a drunk. The kids going on to the grandparents. The grandparents always looking after the thing. And then when she finally grows up there, she experiences the same thing from her brat kids. And there's a vicious cycle that doesn't ever stop. And in between that cycle, they just get locked up. And they just keep recycling them in and out the fucking jail. I know all about that cycle. And you've got to break that generation cycle. It depends which generation you're in. Depends what type of community you're in. Depends what type of race you're in. Well, it's not really a race. It's a people. We've got to get rid of that race word. That's one word we should actually stop. Because there's no race. There's no race for things, guys. You understand that one? It's a secret word when they say, oh, it's a racial war. What? So we're racing against each other again. Why is it going to be a race? Why do we have to race all the time? Who's going to be the fastest? Who's going to be the best? Who's going to be in front? That's what race is. That's what race is, isn't it? That's what a race is. Also means that, the same fucking thing. We've got to stop racing against each other and start embracing each other. Learn, like I said, you take everyone's skin off and we're all red. We're all the same. It'd be very hard to choose anyone from each other than going down to the blood DNA, which the governments do. No constitution in the world favors the people. Only the government, if you have a real look at it. Only the government at the end of the day. Especially these ones down here, they got a little clause. And there it says that they can, if a group of people go against the government of the day, they can segregate them as part of their constitution. Right? So that means it only protects the government. It doesn't protect white people. That's the thing. That is a fallacy. Yes, white people have generally been the ones that have been in power because of a fair bit of racism and being a fair bit of wrongness. But a lot of them are starting to repent. A lot of them are starting, not all of them are like that. There's only the ones at the top. And it breeds down into the others, and it's just the way people get taught, the way people get shown, the way the parents in the house teach the kid. Oh, look at that one. He's yellow. Oh, look at that one. He's red. He's black. He's white. That racism is endemic, It's very hard to breed out. It's very hard to get rid of that race. Racing all through the families, all the way through everyone's mind. Everyone's got a like and a hate, especially when it comes to people and what types they are, what type of human they are. I don't like to judge what you call race, because that puts us in a race. I judge people. I judge communities on their actions. I could judge a whole community if they happen to be part of a big race, one race. That's not my issue. Not my issue. They want to live like that and be like that. That's not my point. I'm not being racist against that race, because it means we want to race each other. No, I'm just pointing out a point. When you've got countries that don't have cleaning regimes, yet they run most of all the shit that we got touching every day, it's a bit of a worry. No? I judge people on people and how they act. Sometimes a whole race, or what you call race, a whole people will act a certain way. So I've got to judge them a certain way. I can't help that. But I'm not racist. I like all types of people, no matter where you're from. As long as you're good to me, why can't I be good to you? I have no bound to color. I mean shit. I've got Greek in me. I've got Aboriginal in me, Australian Aboriginal. So that's Mediterranean Greek, which are very known racist. If you want to know, they've had that many go through their crossroads of the world. How many armies marched through that place in thousands of centuries? There you go. And then I've got, like I said, Australian Aborigine, black, oldest culture in the world. I've also got Afghan in me, from the last name Akbar, from Afghanistan, a tribe, one of the tribes from the Khyber Pass, which for the last 3,500 years, no one has ever been able to conquer. All armies have to ask for rights through there, and that's it. And that's where he come from, right? And then I've got my on my father's side as well. His father was German. I could trace that back to Balaclava in Germany. where they originated from, just up the road from Swastika. So when I get up in the morning, guys, I want to fucking kill myself. I go to war against myself. I don't need racism. I got myself punching into myself. The thoughts running around in my head. Crazy. But all those things in me, see, I'm still classed as an Aboriginal man, no matter what I try to do. What I try to do. I mean, that used to be the goal. That's it. When this woke come in, they try to drop this little bit of paper on you and say, do you signify as an Aboriginal? You don't look it. Do you signify as an Aboriginal, Michael? Oh, of course I do. And people say, my mum would say, because she's white and Greek. And there's always been that little bit of thing between black and white, between mum and dad. Oh, you think about that one. And being a Greek woman that marries a black man out in the bush, you think what her family would have thought about her? It's unheard of. Sacrilege. What are you doing with this brush cutter? You know? No. My old man was a man of merit. He put that whole family aside, all those men, sat them down at the table. I said, I know what you think of me. I know exactly what you Dagos think of me, he reckons. He was not a one to mix words. He was not one that you want to quickly fight either. He said, right, if you give me the hand of Dula, or Theodola is her full name, Tula for short, I will promise I will work my guts out and be the best husband you ever saw. And you know what? He didn't lie. In the end, all this so-called regal family, like I tell you, some of them married into some real top Italian families, guys, like the Don dying on the beds type of stuff. Yeah, that was freaky. So for her to marry him, well, but he kept his word. And in the end, they were asking, my old man for loans to pay for funerals and stuff, so he became the best of them all. And they all say that too. So he was a man that kept to his word. And that's it. I've done a genealogy on my mother's side, way back to the 1800s, yeah. That's the thing. It's beauty to have a good understanding of your bloodline. You know where you come from. This is what a lot of people, when they claim in America, unfortunately, when it comes to that slavery business, we're going to go, they kind of refer to Africa like the homeland, even though they may have never been there. You know, that reminds me, when I see that, I get a bit of a giggle. Oh, this is jumping. That means they want to attack me. Mr. YouTube, stop your crap. No, I get a bit funny because that reminds me of a time when we went to the First World War in Australia. And a lot of the people, old men that went there, white men, they still thought that we was like, they used to call Britain home. And none of them ever been to Britain. They used to think of England as the homeland, you know. Oh, back at the homeland, we're going to go fight for the homeland. And none of them ever been there. In fact, some of them, they asked, oh, could you draw me a map of Australia? They couldn't even do that. They didn't even know what Australia looked like. So that's the way they're thinking. And, well, you don't just go back there. I couldn't go back to England. If they say, oh, you're from Australia, then your homeland is England. I tried that, rocked up in England. Oh, well, that'd be pretty scary. I don't know any of that place. That's a rough place there. Very packed, very a lot of shit going on there. Same in Africa. It's like you couldn't up ship unless you knew your family line, knew exactly where to go, had everything set up. You couldn't just up ship and think, oh, bugger this America, I'm going back to Africa. Because they won't have you. They won't have you there. They'll see you as a target. Even if you was the poorest person in American streets and managed to find yourself a passage to Africa, they'll still rob the shit out of you anyway. Because you seem like a rich person over there to them. And you always will be. Unless you've got a family line direct to there, and you can go back there and say that. You have to say it in confidence, not overbearing. You got to be in confidence because there's changing all the time over there. Unless you know exactly what's going on. I mean, look at that guy getting around now. I like him. That general leader. He wearing the little red Pinochet hat. I really like him. He pushes up the biggest governments and he tells them the truth. The truth. You'll be manipulate my countries for too long, my brothers for too long, and my country for too long. And you've kept us down by your sanctions and your laws so you can pilfer our countries for all our resources. It's time to stop. The last person that thought like that was Gaddafi up in Libya, which is part of Africa. So much so that he was really going to cut him off with the 14-ton of gold he had ready to go to functionate his own dollar. Would have been more powerful than America. Would have flushed the American dollar straight down the gurgler. And they couldn't have that, so yes. It's like that Lord of War with Nicolas Cage, right? You give someone money or guns to deal with the problem as your enemy. You deal with the enemy, The enemy of my enemy is your friend. The biggest arms dealers in the world are the governments. American government's the biggest arms dealer in the world. Then there's France, then Russia. That's a fact. Legal arms dealers make up what? 1% of arms dealing in the world? And if you watch that movie, look how much shit that block moves. 1%. So you imagine how much arms our governments are moving every day. We don't know what they're moving. They're the government. They can move whatever they want. It's like when they moved those 22,000 orphan kids out of Ukraine, got on a plane, fucking never seen them land. They can just take whatever they want right in front of you, and no one talks about what happened to all those kids. They're gone. No one knows where they are. Ukraine war's a load of shit, guys. The very first thing Ukraine, even the government put this out, it's the shield, the guy of Ukraine flying around in that plane, knocking off all those fantastic, brand new, fast, supersonic, fucking technologized fucking Russian jets, which is quite impossible, right? Not on the scale they was doing. To find out that it was actually AI that they got from a video game and made it look real. AI from a video game they got and made it look real. That should have told you straight away that war was bullshit on the Ukrainian behalf, from the Ukrainian government. And who supports them? Australia, America. Fuck, we gave them $1 billion. That $1 billion could have been better spent here. Better spent here in this country, dealing with the people. We're the lucky country, but I should take you for a little trip and show you all the people living under the bridges and shit. They got to shift along. How many people are not living in houses? How bad it is over here. But the thing is, when you feel people that are destitute, they don't like that. Unless you've got lots of money to go around and passing out to do that, you'll find, people don't like to be filmed when they're at their lowest. Hello, Nick. How you going? Yes, that's the Aboriginal colours for the medical service that I go to W Oregon every year or every 6 months. They get printings of shirts and you get a free shirt. So, see, and that's an Aboriginal medical service set up in the Noongar area for W Oregon. W Oregon meaning Derbil. Well, the Derbil is the swan, and Oregon is the river. So, Swan River. W Oregon. There you go. That's what that means. Oh, I got everyone here. Yes, I made Margie a moderator because I like her. As simple as that. And she's always supported me and always got a nice and kind word to say. And every time I see it come up, every time a little thing comes up from you guys, little thing comes up, oh, yeah, little message from this one, it makes me smile, guys. It makes me very happy. It makes me feel wanted. I don't have many friends or get many reaction. Sometimes I'll go into a chat, even though it might be a bad guy's chat that people will see, just to see, because I'm bored out of my brain. Just to see how far I can push things, I guess. I have yet to be kicked out of any chat except one. Dead bird. That's all I got to say. Dead bird. That's one tough nut. Can't track that one. See straight out. Fuck you, delete. Very vindictive one, that one. It's dead, but it still keeps flapping. I don't check that one anymore. I put that run right out of my algorithm, so it doesn't even come up no more. So that's fucking good. I work there good. But just remember, I started off supporting that one. She was all about Jag. She was doing the right thing, and the whole channel was all bound with that. Now, well, God, geez, what a turnaround! And it just kept going months and months. Like I tried to explain to my daughter, a little problem I had. When you lie, you often find that you have to keep lying to propagate your lies so you don't get caught out for the first lie. And a lot of people get caught in that and they start believing everything that comes out of their own mouth. Well, he's been respectful to me and treated me. Yes, of course. Of course, Margie. I take notice of things too. It's like when you said what type of a situation you was in a sense. I picked up on that straight away, and that's no good, From a man's point of view, that's not really nice and good, but yeah, that worried me a bit, and I picked up on that. I know other people did too. I'm just not frightened to say something about it or do something about it. I'm a man. I'm an angel. I have to do things when I see it needs to be done. Unfortunately, I'd like to save everyone, but that's not quite my job. I'm supposed to save what I can along the way. I am bound to that. As an angel, one rule we really are when we are an angel, we've got to think like this. You could say 1,000 bad things about somebody. You really can. And sometimes it's deserved, the way we feel and the way they've acted. Sometimes they deserve to have 1,000 bad things said about them. But the true message of God and the true message of an angel is to try and find 10 good things to say about them. I bet a lot of people can't do that. That's a failure in humanity, guys. That's one thing where humanity fails terribly in. It's just like there's no compassion for that part at all. That forgive thy neighbor, and they forgive you for the trespassing. It's kind of enemies type thing too, guys. You have to forgive them, no matter how bad they really be. God would prefer you forgive. You can understand why sometimes you can't. You really can. But He's preferred that you forgive. He prefers everyone forgive. He prefers we all say 10 nice things about somebody instead of 1,000 bad things. So that shows you what type of world we're in. There's only bad things to say about each other. Well, do you really want to live in a world like that? So, even bad people, sometimes, it's different. They don't know how to approach that one. If you attack them with 1,000 bad things, they're just going to retaliate against that. But if you attack them with 10 good things, in a way that they are good, but they're still an attack, They don't know how to cope with that. They've never had that put on before. Like the Persians and every soldier that they had in there from all the different walks, all the different armies. Over 1,000 different cultures come together under one yoke of one ruler. They came across the Spartans. Now, all throughout history, man has fought wrongly, has used God's name in vain. They used the right hand to wield a sword. Right? But you can't do that. That belongs to God there, guys. The right hand is the hand of God. That belongs to God. A man is supposed to use this right hand to shield his family. The man's still supposed to use this right hand to shield his family and use the left hand to defend. Right? So that's the way of thinking. Man has always raised his right hand with a sword. Entire cultures only have the right-handed sword technique. When they come across these guys sitting there with his swords in their left hands and the shields in the right, they really didn't know how to defend or fight against that. That's why you got the phalanx. Right? But that phalanx fails in the open, where one link gets smashed. That's the floor in the phalanx. It's no good on the open field. But if you use a double phalanx, right-handers and left-handers, to come together, you can form the strongest formation in any war, like a beetle that can fight from both ways. Still, no subject to the open. You have to pick your battleground. And the one thing old Leonidas did is he picked his battleground well. He got him going down a bottleneck and created a gauntlet. Because it wasn't just 300 men there, there was 6,000 men there. 6,000 in total at Thermopylae. There was just 300 Spartans. That goat's path, it's not so much like it was a little tiny little goat's path, how they sing it up. Right? It was very similar to where they were standing, just a little bit thinner and secret hidden. There was parts behind it there where there was open areas. And the 2,000 men that would sit there to guard that path, 2,000 men were guarding that goat path from the rest of the Greek forces. When they seen the Persians coming up the goat path, instead of staying across the path itself, they moved to the edge of the field. And the Persian army just marched straight fucking past them. So he made a mistake in his tactics. And Leonidas himself thought they was going to be there. They would have stayed there. They would have bottlenecked them the same way they was bottlenecking them on the bigger pass. And the numbers wouldn't have counted for shit. I beat the Spartans. I seen that too. That's quite a hilarious one, that one. Poor old Paris Hilton. She's not that ugly. And I tell you what, Xerxes would have been more like that fat guy from Borat too. But that's another story. Because you have a look at the father, Darius. You know what Xerxes and his father Darius are most famous for, guys? Not so much all that Persian War and all that, no. They're most famous for putting their heads on a coin. The father had his head one way with one eye, and the mother had, and Xerxes had his head the other with one eye. And now every single regal person, every single dollar, every single thing we get has got the old one eye on us. So, who won in the end? I wonder. That movie, he was sitting right there with the devil, a demon, playing, and he get all those people around him. Come in. You bow down to me, tell me where the secret goat path is, and will be endless, your joys. You know? He knew that if he went to the worst treated people, the deformed, and treated them nicely, they would be loyal to him. So he was smart in that aspect. But he also used to deal with demons. And now their legacy on the world is the one eye. The all-seeing eye on the coin. It's like our coin. King, he looking the other way now. Queen was looking that way, he looking that way. Oh, there you go. Isn't that strange? How that connects. So what empire are we following? The Persian? Or are we following, the Greek philosophers that America so proudly has their university study on philosophy and understanding and knowledge and astrology, all from the Greeks? Well, not entirely, but they refound it. They gathered the knowledge from all over the world and refound it. Think about that one. You go to your universities, you quote nothing but Greek philosophers, Plato and all that stuff. We don't have to learn that shit in school unless we deliberately want to go and learn that stuff. So that got to be a bit pulled back. And America is great in teaching that philosophy. So you've got to understand what Persian-style government you got running there. Old one eye, eh? Old seeing dollar. And you got that one eye sitting up on top of the pyramid on your money. So you're getting watched by the fucking Egyptians. The all-seeing eye. What? Yes, the chat is visible. I can see. I can see. Crimes come down to Clubby. I go through and we'll have a look. The Phalanx is a very old sentient race who wants global domination. Yes, that's true. But the Phalanx is also the way that man should use the shield. Because naturally everyone is right-handed shield. Right-handed. Being right is naturally stronger. So when you see that Spartan movie, the latest one, when you see him say, push, and they push him back, well, they can't do that with the left hand. They can do it with the right. And the natural stabbing motion of the left marries the heart. So there's not much energy to just stab in and out with the left. Whereas the right, you have to place it over and aim it. To get to the heart, you've got to pull it back from its natural path. Left hand's just natural path. You get that out and you look at yourself in the mirror. When you go like that with a hand, where's it going to stab? Straight to your heart. That's the secret of the Spartan shield. That's the secret of that phalanx. But like you said, that world policy, that evil one that wants to be the phalanx, they also know that one shatter of the phalanx, the whole phalanx shatters. So they have to be very clandestine in their activities. Stay very low, but functionate nonetheless. Because one link in their shield is gone, and the whole structure collapses, and gets exposed. So maybe you knowing about them at all, because they're supposed to be these secret societies, and they're not secrets. They're not secrets if we know about them. No longer a secret. How does it be a secret society if we know it exists? It's no longer a secret. No? So maybe you knowing it and us knowing which these secret societies are, that's the break in their phalanx, a crack in their link. Same with the White Party business. It is the break in that phalanx, a crack in that link, and opened up and exposed the rest of the links. And the phalanx is just slowly fucking going down like a bunch of dominoes. Eventually they will. But they're using money to prop themselves back up, see? Money in this world makes things happen. You got that, you got the influence, you got the money, you got the advertisement. There you go. You got one bloke that still runs like the drugs, which is the pharmaceutical. How he got to where he is in the first place. His little catch on it. You got to remember, in a scheme, any scheme, she's either triangle or she's trapezoidal. So there's either 3 parts to a scheme, 3 people to a scheme, 3 witches to a brew, or it's trapezoidal, where there's 4. That means there's a hidden member, a silent party. Which one are we playing with? A pyramid scheme or the trapezoidal? When it comes to the spiritual, it's the trapezoidal. Because that's where the spiritual plane is, in the 4th dimension. We live in the 3rd. What's the next level? Has to be the 4th. And then the 5th on from that. No? You've got 1 dimension which is just flat, can't see bugger all, straight line. 2 dimensions like that. 3 dimensions make a pyramid. Which is what we live in now, the 3 dimensions. What we always say, the 4 corners of the world, the 4 winds. No, we know about cube structure. We know about the 4th. We know about trapezoidal. See, that's what it is. When you're a 3rd dimensional being, we can picture what the 4th dimension looks like. We can even make it in the box, just draw it up in square, 4 dimensions. Probably use 2 dimensions to do it, and 1 dimension drawing to make it. You see that? So we can functionate the 2nd and the 1st dimension because we're in the 3rd dimension. We can picturate the 4th dimension, but we don't quite know what that is. Well, it's God. It's the next level. It's the spirit level. That's the 4th dimension. That's why there's be a connection in between. Why we have spirits. Why things fail to cross over sometimes. And residue is left. And you call them hauntings. Some hauntings are there because that's just the way that person was. Something special about them, the residue. What happened to them might have been an effect to keep them there. It's not always going to be dealing with Satan and devils and demons, you know. There's other rules. There's other rules to this spirit game. A lot of other things can go on. You can become an entity that's bound to a house because you was murdered there. You know? And because that bad thing happened to you, you don't want to leave till you're solved or something like that. Or you've heard them ones where you have the people that are unalive in a car, yet clearly all the rescuers can hear them singing out to them. Only to get in there and say, no, coroner said that guy's been, he couldn't, no way. He'd been dead for over 9 hours. He'd been dead for 9 hours, so how could he be singing out? And they've got it on film and tape and everything. So you work out what's going on there. A lot of things happen in this world that people don't believe happen. And I'm trying to explain this to my sister Chloe. She's got a ghost in the house. She's got a real ghost in the house. Moves shit around, actually said out hey and a couple of words and turns toys on and stuff. Moves stuff around. She really has a ghost in the house. It's not a bad ghost. Not a bad one. A lot of people don't believe her, but it's there nonetheless. And she reckons she don't believe me on some of the stuff I say, and well, I explained that to her. I said, well, what about your ghost? She pulled up and started listening then. She realized what I was talking about. You know, some things people see, some people don't believe them when they see it. Like a ghost. No, that's not real, that can't happen. We've got a lot of that people. A lot of people in this world just won't see what is right in front of them. Sorry, this is jumping. This is because they've tapped my phone. It's going to cost me a bit to get all my information out without, messing around too much. Because every time I try to change things to get it out, it bloody attacks me. It doesn't give me enough time to do it. Certain things I do can stop it. I'm glad it has. Usually it cuts out to the bad guys. It's just playing up as being a real pain in the bum. And I have to fix it. I just got the jumping again. So I'm sorry with buffers and jumps. I hope it's not affecting too much. A dead one, Fluffy. Spooky offense. Are there many other secrets to be revealed? Well, there are many other secrets to be revealed. We haven't even started yet. Many secrets. Many. There's many. Many more to go. But look what we have to fight. You got whole governments voting not to release that Epstein list. 51 to bloody 49? Why not? Shouldn't have been going to a vote. Should have just got released. And then you've got that FBI guy in charge over there in America. He started off right. Now he's turned real funny one. Looked like he was going to be the guy. Now he looks like he's just one of them. Focusing on having a good memory on things on an event that happened 50 years ago. And doesn't know what's currently going on in the street. That's a bit rough to take. I know that man's smarter than that. This Charlie Kirk assassination has changed a bit of thinking, guys. I think that, whether it was planned by them to get that guy to do it, I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? You got people singing out about him. He's not even admitting anything. Things are not true. You got that Candace Owens singing about that too. Now, the thing is with her, she's how can I put it? Sometimes I think she knows that she's running bullshit. It's just all for clicks and licks. One thing I will say, the reason why she's doing it, because her and that Charlie actually were friends. You could see it in their eyes, guys. I could see it myself. If those two didn't have a partner each, they'd probably be partners. That's how much I know they liked each other. So that's why she's doing this. For her to do that to her friend's wife, say what she's been saying, well, who knows? But I found it highly irregular for her to do that. All right? Especially when they were friends. Genuine friends. I think you'll find when both of them, as content creators, started getting a voice, that voice started carrying weight, started generating money. Right? The offers started coming. You support us, we'll give you this. And don't tell me it doesn't happen, because it fucking happens. On a regular basis. They're not there to bring good message, they're there to make money. I found that out with Candace Owens, and bloody, like I said, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, and Russell Brand. Now, Russell Brand I was talking to on email. I cut his email right off. After when I found out he keeps going back, he party, he keeps going back. No, sorry, I can't trust you no more. I'm not talking to you. I don't even watch your shit no more. Right? And I was talking to him well before I met Jag. And Candace, that was the first person I actually approached to besides Roma online. And I got to manage to talking in the chat, and they pulled me to the side, and they started their bullshit with say, oh, you come to this WhatsApp, and you support us with this much money, and I'm like, oh, yeah. And then when I got in contact with the Tucker Carlson, they talked to me a little bit, and then all of a sudden, bang, same shit. Same WhatsApp type of crap. So they're running the fucking same scheme. That's why they're buddies. So I couldn't trust them. I weeded them off. The reason why I was hunting them down is because they had a loud mouth. Their voice was the biggest. Their message was getting out over the air. I got a message I got to get out eventually. And I need as many big content creators as I can find that I can trust. Because this message, when I get it out, when it comes, it's going to bring a whole new ball game to everything. It's going to be a good message. It's going to be something wondrous I'm going to bring to the world. Let the world know that God has some wonder left for us, guys. I mean, it's going to be it's going to be a biblical thing, but it's got to happen. Everyone wants it to happen. Everyone's wanting it to happen. Everyone wants this next coming. Did you hear, all the people out in the forest? What was it, the 22nd of September? Just gone. All the people in the forest, and I thinking that was the day of fucking resurrection. That was the day everyone's supposed to ascend. They all went out there screaming, oh, we're supposed to ascend. I've closed all my bank accounts. This is my last time to be on TikTok because we're going to ascend to heaven now. None of them ascended. Did you see that? Just go. That's the power of fucking belief, guys. And did they all fucking go up to heaven? Not a single one of them. Unless they got hit by a car leaving the event. Check into it. Have a look. Don't know lie. There's some real crazy people out there, guys. You'll know when we're going to go. Everyone on this planet will know when that rapture hits. You just don't want to be here when it actually happens. You want to hope that's on a time scale fucking down the track, guys. Because that's not going to be something that's going to be you want to witness. The whole world will know when that comes. The whole world will shake. You'll see the true power of God. And God don't mess around. Oh, rapture. Who wants to do that? You have, well, why would you want to sing that rapture and everyone get taken up? No, everyone doesn't get taken up. In the book, it's only got 144,000 going up there. You read that book. Do you really want to run that book's narrative? I don't. God doesn't. Man does. Satan does. Got to be thinking like that. You think like that. You read that book properly. 144,000 people go up in the resurrection. That's it. How many people got on this planet don't want to be saved? 9 billion? You work out who's fucking not going to miss out on. Who's missing out on that trip? Think about it. That's what the Bible says. No, I'm not lying. Just go and check it out yourself. I don't quote verses. I read the fucking like a book. And that's why I understand it as a story. It's applied to the people. The best way it's explained is in Shaka Zulu when they're trying to explain it to a tribal man in a different type of system who started creating an empire. And the best way was explained to him about Jesus and the Jews and the Christianity. Now the Christian believes the Savior, Jesus, right, is the Savior. And the Jews believe Jesus is just a prophet and the Savior of nothing and not the Son of the God. Right? But Jesus comes from the Jewish tribe. Do you see that? Jesus comes from the Jewish tribe. He was a Jewish man. Okay? But his own people won't see him as the Messiah. But Christians do. Now, doesn't that sound funny to a black man that doesn't know anything about this Christianity? So you know what Shaka did? He said, okay, that sounds a bit funny. I'll accept that one. I can understand that, why that's running like that. But this Jesus, how he strung himself up to the cross. You know why he died? And this was his thinking. He died so his power can come to me. Right? He started thinking he was the next Jesus, the Savior. Know what I'm saying? And in his mind, in their technicality, the way we preach, how you've got to bring the Jesus in so he can be like him, he wasn't wrong. In any sense of things. In his mind, for his people, he was that Savior. Just like Jesus was. Okay? That's funny, that. We Christians, are saved and think our Savior and know our Savior to be Jesus or Joshua, who is a Jewish man. Yet his own people won't accept him. He's an outcast, if you will. They accept him as a prophet. He knew what he was talking about, some of the things, but he wasn't the Son of God, as he claims. The Muslims believe that too. Now, in a sense, it is all right for the Jews to believe such a thing, because the Jews in the First Testament have the only covenant with God. The only ones, the only race of people that were going to go up to heaven. And through Jesus, sacrificed himself to open up the door for the rest of humanity. So that's another deal. The New Testament. The Old Testament is the testament of God. He declared that this testament was going to be only the Jewish people slipping into heaven and fuck the rest of us. But he also knew that was a mistake, because he also knew there was other good people out there. Right? You've got to think like God. He does think like that. Oh, fuck the rest of us, because he's like that. He's like us. He's a very vengeful man. Got a lot of fucking things going on in his mind that, love's a bit sparse. He likes to give it. He likes to give love. It's very strong. It's the strongest that there is. What keeps a lot of us going. And he gives that to us. But the fact of the matter is, what's going on? Love's not going to save you. He's very angry. Very vengeful God. And it is his right to say, no, that's it. I'm going to go like my son wanted to begin with. I'll have you bowing and scraping and praising me up. So he loves us by not letting us do that. He gives us our own choice. A few basic rules that we've got to follow. Keep good to your fellow man, your fellow neighbor, and you'll get along. You slip up to heaven. Drop on the water on you, away you go. Pretty easy. Religion's not that hard. It's very easy if you want to operate it the way God really wants to operate it. The way I see it, that book has to be man's idea or Satan's idea, because why would he build such a beautiful universe or control such a beautiful universe, refashion it the way he wanted, have this planet for us, all these people that get born, the ability to be like him, and think like him, create magic like him, life like him. We just can't say that we are him and topple him over. We do that, keep him at the front all the time, we'll sail through fucking all eternity. The moment we start questioning these rules, well, you're going to go slip into somewhere else. That's just the rules. Can't help that one. Can't help that. Just going to say, I know my Bibles, I may not know the verses. Yeah, I don't know the verse. I could quote that. I don't want to go for that banter. That's a hype thing, guys. I read it as a book. Pride of a people coming out of slavery, like being born. I mean, really, if you want to follow that Bible to the T and just be totally devout in God, well, that'll have you believe that we was only put on this earth 6,500 years ago. So how's that fucking work? You know what I'm saying? I've sat into an Aboriginal bridging class. That means you at university, when you do 6 months in a field that you want to be in, plus you get your year 12 equivalency, so you can go on to more university, right? Aboriginal bridging course. And I've had Aboriginal people in there that were Christians. Now they also claim that they're Aboriginal, and I found this quite funny, because they would say, "Oh, I'm Christian, and I believe we was only, like God says, we only put here 6,500 years ago when Adam and Eve happened in the Garden of Eden." And I had to kick up like that, like you wouldn't imagine. Not harshly, I just brought to the realization about our actual people. Why this is an Aboriginal bridging course. I said, don't have you for believe that, but what about our own people? What about our religions and our beliefs and the proof and the science behind that we've been here for 65,000 years? She went very quiet in that. She had never concepted that part. See, when they first come into Australia, they tried to convince everyone, no, what you're doing there is devil worship. That's the devil one. You've got to come over to the good side. We'll believe teach of God. And they'd march all these kids into the church. Under duress as to begin with. They walk into church and they see this guy strung up to a bloody cross. nailed to it. And they say, oh, that's their Savior. That's our Jesus. You've got to pray to him. Why? Because he's in so much pain. That's what they're taught. You imagine that, having that pushed on you. And of course, a lot of them found solace in that. During colonization, terrible things happened to the Aboriginal people. Unheard of things. This is a history that, oh, they're going to stop me because I'm talking about that, eh? That's a history that Australia would like to fucking extinguish. What happened to us? What's still happening? You get that? That's that black thing again. You have a look. The way I know this left-right bullshit, there's nothing like this bloody functioning now. People saying red pill, blue pill shit. Put them together, you got purple. You know? And purple, what's that? What does that signify? Well, when you've got two argument governments that are left-wing and right-wing, and the one's supposed to be a red pill, one's supposed to be a blue pill. When you mix them two together, it makes purple. And that purple represents wealth and frustration of sexuality. Isn't that what the two sides are always arguing over? The expense of wealth in the country and the rights of what fucking sexes and what the beliefs are in that field? Isn't that what happens when you come to Parliament? When you mix fucking red and blue together, you get a purple fucking Parliament? And they try to discuss what's the best mix out of that purple Parliament. No, what's going to happen, where the money's going to go, what the rules are going to be for the next generation growing up, their sexuality form, and identity. You know, that's what it does. And also, funny, you know, in the Matrix type thinking, or the way they talk about it, how Morpheus actually puts it, one says you're going to stay in the dream, and one is your choice to come to reality. It's up to you to choose which one. He didn't say what color was what, see? So even he was unsure whether left or right is right or wrong. That's why it was his choice. Fucking hell, why didn't he just be like some of the people that are getting around now? Pop the purple one. Pop them both. Experience both, best of both worlds. That's what them guys on fentanyl, that's why they take it, guys. That's the rush of the fentanyl. Because you're in this world, which is the reality, but they're also in the next world fucking bent over in the street. You know what I'm saying? They're enjoying the best of both worlds there. That's what happens when you pop a purple pill. You trip right the fuck out. You're in a dream while you're walking through reality. Yeah. And that's how these governments got you playing. You want to play this bloody drug game? Why is it got to be turned into a drug? Why is the laws and the beliefs got to be turned into a drug? What, is it addictive? Does it cure anybody? You know? What's it fucking for? To brainwash you? Make you believe, fucking if you pop that pill, that's the way you got to be? Fuck that. Left and right, I was taught at university level, is the discourses in life. Now, the very far left, the very far extreme left, is the greenies that want to turn us all back to cavemen. We go back to a stage where you don't have none of these buildings, all back to grass. You know what I'm saying? That's the extreme. That's how left used to be. Now, whatever you're talking to left, fucking used to be right. Used to be sitting on a different scale. That's where you sit on the scale. They're not totally left. You're totally left. In a university study level, you're totally left means you're that Greenpeace orientated that you don't want any, this wouldn't exist. None of the technology you have here would exist. That's the ultimate left. Back to nature. Living like the Aboriginals were before colonization come. Leaving an impact that you didn't even know it was there. That's the extreme. Back to nothingness. Right? But it's not like that no more. So I don't know what's going on with this left-right bullshit. It's just crap. You're claiming some fucking side when you're not even any side. You're not even following the actual science. Again, not even following the science and the study and the knowledge behind it to make it a factual thing. Just running a fucking narrative. Again, someone's chocolate starfish. And we don't know what crazy they're thinking. You're not running logic no more. Logic is supposed to be learnt. Knowledge, a pattern of things. We're breaking that pattern by running your own bullshit narrative. Claiming things are left and right and this and that. Trying to put things in a category. No. They teach you that the far left, like I said, Greenpeace, and the far right, that's North Korea. Total rule over you. Now, which one is the best one? You want to go back to caveman days? That way? Or do you want to go to North Korea? That way? Where they have this perfect world that you talk about. Where there's no crime. Because there's very little crime in North Korea. Everyone's generally got the same level of living. Whether they like to propagate and propaganda us how they live or not, it's not quite how they're living. A lot more people will be trying to escape, if there was, on a far grander scale, because that's just natural humanity to survive. So a lot of that shit we get told is bullshit about that country, but they got your perfect world. But look what they had to give up to get it. Look what your government does when they want to make your streets secure. They do exactly no different than North Korea. They increase the powers of the police. They increase the fines. They increase the fucking powers of the law and the stretch of the government to control. Do they not? Their idea to stop the speeding fines and stop people dying from speeding is to increase the fines for speeding. But every year those people and deaths go up on the road. So it's not working. But you're speeding, so they'll fucking put the fines up. That's just revenue. It doesn't save any lives. It doesn't help anyone. Doesn't stop it. Doesn't stop the death toll. In fact, the death toll is always more every fucking year. So clearly it's not working. But it does for their pockets. Think about that. It does for their pockets, guys. That's the world where it functions. Doesn't stop the crimes. Doesn't stop the deaths. It's as simple as that. Just by looking at the way they operate with car fines and the way they've got deaths on the roads, and the reason why they justify raising those fines is because it slows people down. It's supposed to be a deterrent to stop people from speeding. No, it's not. It's a revenue collection. Plain and simple. It's like cigarettes. Government's put every warning on the world on them. In our country, they've got to be fucking one colour. And I put everything about what the cigarettes can do to you on it, knowing it's so fucking bad and terrible. Yet they'll still gladly collect it. They'll still gladly collect every bit of tax they make from the cigarettes. Now, if you took cigarettes away like a government's supposed to be and really protect it, so no, cigarettes are bad, we're fucking banning them, goodbye cigarettes. Of course, you'll have an illegal trade. That's the fact. But the fact is, a real government that knows that that's an unhealthy product and wants to look after their country and health, they'll ban cigarettes. But they don't, because they make too much money from it, right? And they think, same thing. Let's stop them from smoking cigarettes. So we increase the price of the cigarettes, make it harder for them to buy, right? But that doesn't stop people smoking cigarettes. Oh, there's people that smoke vapes and all that now, and all that. No, they smoke fucking both of them, like on record, fucking numbers. Doesn't stop people from smoking. They'll just find the money to get those smokes. And they know that, so the government collect again. They know that, so the government collect again. Once again, government's got us fixed. They really want to care about us, say, not cigarettes ban all tobacco products. We know it causes cancer. We know it causes all types of other ailments. So we're getting rid of that unhealthy product. on our community because we love our community and that's what we're here to do. But you're not going to have a government in the world does that, right? They collect that money. And if they did do that, governments are greedy. Say that's $100 billion of tax that country gets just in tobacco tax a year alone. And they have to stop that now. So where are they going to make that $100 billion up? Something else in society's got to pay for that. So they'll increase the taxes on apples. Increase the taxes on fuel. Make the money up somewhere else. Do you see? The governments are that greedy that all they care about is money. They don't care about our lives or anyone else's. All they care about is revenue and dollars. Money. They go into Parliament thinking I am going to save the world and have my message and end up like that dickhead FBI. A plant. Part of the system. Because they put a bullet in the guy. Made everyone shit their pants. Fucking change their tune about things. Slip over to the other side. You know? That one bullet rang across the world, guys. And even if he was just a fucking crazy that fucking opened up on him because he didn't like getting called a fag and he was a fag. You know, basically, had a bit of a fucking dysfunctional pattern. And went outside, I'm going to unalive this bloke because that's it, I don't like the way he's talking about me. Bang. Could be as simple as that. You know? But look, that bullet rang across the world. Look what's happening. Look what's happening. All governments change around, but a little bit of change there. There's left right bullshit. You know why? Because they're all fucking panicked. Realise that all their bullshit banter that they're fucking tattering on, and he can't come there crazy, come up with a fucking gun, go bang, shut their mouth clean up. Regardless of what message they was putting out. Regardless of who they was. It's a bullshit game, you know, guys. If people want to unalive you, you'll be unalived. When you got $1 billion, when you got billions of dollars, and you want to fucking unalive someone, they'd be gone. Don't you doubt that. No matter how good you think you are in running away. They want to slip you off the slope, they'll get you off. The government really want to step in, take away, they'll just step in, take away. Now the government can do this. Tomorrow morning, they'll get up and say, all the money you have, all the physical money you have to now take that to the government collection agency. We want it back. Because by the law, that money belongs to us. Always and forever. So you have to give it back now. And by law, anyone that carts around a purse full of money is going to get arrested because you're carting the government's property. That's why you can't destroy the fucking thing. They can do that tomorrow. Nothing you can do about it. It's in your constitution. The only thing you can do then is revolution. And top of that, government take them to war. Or you just fucking bow down and do as you're told. Like we've got the system set up to do. Serious, the governments really want to do that. Oh yeah, it's going to create this, it's going to create that, but it's stupid, do it. It's still written in their ways they can do it. Why do you think the money belongs to the government? Always. What a smart system. We'll give them the semblance that they've got something, but it still belongs to us. You'll go electronical, they'll have us fucked. So at least one thing we've got to keep is that bloody cash money that they got going. If we go electronical, they got us fucked. They literally got us fucked. That's the most stupidest thing in the world. Anyone thinks that we should just go electronical. I'm sorry, literally. It's that stupid, and it gives Satan the total power and those banks, those governments, total power over us in a fashion that we will not like. Anyone that supports that move, I just want to take them out the street and put a bullet in their head. That's how stupid your thinking is. You want digital world? Fucking there's your digital world in the gutter where you believe now. Fucking stupid thinking like that. Give them total power. That thinking is the Matrix. That sort of thinking, total power, where you want just digital money is the matrix. Then you're fucking locked in for good. And I'll never give you cash money ever again. And you're subject to the banks and the government and everything you do. That means that they want that tax on that money that you're giving your kids. That money you make on your garage sale, that $50 bit of work, that $50 bit of work you do for your mum in the garden, they want that. They want that. They want that tax. They want that money. You know, and they'll get it. It's like the petrol companies. We got no 1 or 2 cent coins over here. Okay, so when you pay cash, you have to round it down or round it up. Depends where it is. So when they say it's worth 99 cents, it's really only, when they say something's worth 99 cents, it's $1. We got no 1 and 2 cent coins. They got rid of them out of the circulation. But it's still operating digital. So companies like those fuel companies, when you go to the browser and you put $5 in and it goes $5 too, you only get charged $5 because we don't have fucking 2s and 1 cent coins. So they got to round it down. No, they want that 2 cents. That's 1 cent that can go to the government, 1 cent that can come to the fuel company. That's 1 cent that can come to the fuel company and 1 cent goes to the government. They want that. Now, if that was done in digital form, you went up there, they'll charge you that 2 cents digital off your card. You see why we can't go fucking digital? They'll get full control over us. And then they'll say, right, we'll take everything away that's fucking under 10 cents because you can't buy anything at a shop that's worth 10 cents. So we just devalue that. Take that off the market. Just to go to a shop with a handful of, go to the shop, lolly shop, with a handful of 1 cent and 2 cent coins. You used to buy 1 cent lollies and 2 cent lollies. You can't buy anything under 20 cents nowadays. Under 20 cents. This house that I'm living in, my mum's house, they bought it from brand new. They built the street, it was Homes West, built it. The state government built this house, and they said, right, you want an option to buy. This was brought in the 1986. Back then, this house was worth $36,500. No shit. 3-bedroom, big giant property, 36.5 grand. Fuck, boy, I would have been in dream world if I would have bought a house back then. But back then, wages were different. This house now, as is worth 600. This house as is worth 610,000. They originally bought it for 36,500 in 1986. 3 years after I graduated from high school. Back. I got to go through a chat, guys. Sometimes I'm sorry. I really, really apologize. I rattle on and I don't read the chat. I forget to read the chat, guy. I know you're there. I know you're listening. I apologize. Sometimes I just forget to read the chat. This keeps jumping in and out, so sometimes I just forget to read that chat, so I'll catch up with the chat. That's why I've been trying doing recordings and pull out some of my old lives, and I might save them to the phone, then re-upload them as a premiere so I can sit in the chat and talk to guys, and we can talk about what that guy Archangel Mike was talking about on screen. Because I like to talk about what this guy is talking about sometimes. That way I could fill in some of the gaps. Because I know when I talk and I bring in knowledge, I will tend to jump from one subject to the next very quickly. I know it's a bit of a pain because people want closure on some of the other facts and other subjects that I talk about. And I got to stop doing that. It's a bit of a problem, I think. But it's just because I have so much. Just want to get it out. When you got it all bottled up inside, you just want to get him out. I'm going to go off now because I'm getting sick of this jumping in and out. Means I got to pull the battery out and stop it and it'll go good. That's just the way to calm this virus down. Pain in the butt. Pain in the bum. Trying to upload something, oh God. I get halfway through editing something halfway making some AI, and the bloody, oh no, it glitches like that. Yeah. It glitches and it just stops. It's yeah, I gotta get this phone fixed. Well, I gotta get the guy because the guy didn't have the instrument to check to see whether he could take out the SIM card. He put it in the sun. This little thing he's got like another phone to see whether the SIM card itself is affected. Because if the SIM card's not affected, I just get another fucking phone, piss this one off. You know, as simple as that. A couple of $100. Get another phone, put the SIM card in. See, my problem is I literally forgot my email passwords and to have access to my YouTube and all the shit that I got. I have to have that email. And when I go to try and change the email because I forgot my email password, this bugger of a virus won't give me enough time to do it. So it keeps cutting out. So it's a real pain in the ass, guys. Otherwise, I would have already found out, got my email out. You know, got my email out. I just went and brought another phone altogether. Put my email in, I can still access more of my YouTube then. That's what I don't want to lose. And that's why they did this, because they went into my YouTube channel as well. So I got hacked. And they fucking changed a lot of the settings. You know, I had to go through. So some of I probably still got things they've changed that I haven't seen yet. So it's like with this live, that you know. Oh, see, it's getting worse and worse. So, uh, thank you for the likes. Thank you for the family popping up, especially Auntie Lee, because I know she works. I know she's very busy. I know Kiki Eyes works too. You know, Mars probably we find you understand it. Yep. Thank you for coming. Baji, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, Nick. Auntie Lee also. Of course, Temper. Of course, Temper. Thank you for coming, Temper. I like those messages you sent before. I sent some back, so I hope you have a good read. A bit of a giggle. But it's a good thing I'm doing. Yes, I went into Just G's chat. The big no-no, people would think in the family. But I did it anyway. You know? I did that anyway. For a few reasons. Won't come clear yet. I work in mysterious ways. But it's not like I'm crossing over. It's not like I'm betraying anybody. Just doing what's right. What I feel is right and where I feel I'm drawn to. And, well, popping in like that, maybe, no. Maybe like I did last time. She might give a bit of the Jag banter a fucking 3-day reprieve. Because Jag doesn't need that shit. At the end of the day, she knows that she shouldn't be doing that. Okay? And so does the Black Owl. I don't know how else to in that one. She had many chances. No, guys, you even wanted me to make her look bloody good. So, oh, we're glitching. Yeah, yes, glitching. Yes, I tried to make her look good. Tried to bring her back from the dark side. But no. Wants to be in that school of ability. Wow. Where she went now. You get that. But it still keeps going. It still keeps flapping. I still hear it flapping. I don't watch it. No, I know where his channel is. I fucking go in and check it anytime I want. But I don't worry. Because she's not a worry no more. No. She slid her own throat there. And that was nothing to do with us. If anything, it was her buddy carrying on a Denny like she did. And that sorted her right out. Fucking idiot. That's what happens in this game. We're not interested in that anymore. We played that. We're on a different tangent now. We're more about something else. And this cult business, I don't like that. Found it funny. Cult is, yeah, right, cult. Bloody hell, cult. Culture. We're about culture. We're not a cult. No. We're not a cult. I haven't been offered any bloody, nothing where we got to go and slice a chicken's throat or fucking do something bloody stupid. Nothing that Jag has done has been cult fashion. Come on, guys. That's, you know yourself. I don't have to tell you guys, the good guys, the good family, the ones that are the family. Don't have to tell you is that fucking we got no cult bloody running. Not anything. No. No. Not anything in the slightest of a cult. We've got a bunch of people together, have a common message. That message happens to be a good one. No, and it happens to be that Jag was singing it the loudest. We're just drawn to that. So is Evil. She's got a voice that naturally rings a perfect tune. Plus all the receipts she's got. Well, the fact that she doesn't want to be part of Evil, well, they've got to do one of two things. No? Oh, there's all paused up. Oh, battery's going in the saving. And she's dying, so it's probably frozen. Yep. I hope you heard me. But yeah, I gotta go now. It's not raining no cold. Not as far as I can fucking see. That's ridiculous. That's a fresh one to me, guys. Just because we expose all these other cults out there with the white parties and all that crap, doesn't mean that we're gonna be one replacing it. That's ridiculous. How I find that hilarious. No? Oh, she's frozen. I find that hilarious, guys. We're in a cult. Okay. Okay. Suppose we're going to be like those others on the 22nd just gone, eh? And like the rapture and go pile out in the bush wait to be fucking risen up. Okay. That's a cult. Okay, it's glitching too much, guys. My battery's just about to die. And I'm sick. Suppose you're probably sick of me drilling shit. So, Archangel Michael signing off for now. God bless. Stay safe. Oh, I didn't even do it. See, it's going slow. Yes, of course, you're going to mess me around. Stay safe and be good. And I'll see you soon. God bless, guys.